Hi, we're at the Noosa Mining Conference on day 2. I'm joined by David Maxwell, the CEO and Managing Director of Cooper Energy, COE. Welcome, David. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Fantastic. David, you had some really exciting announcements this year with the Sol project coming on stream and some recent announcements on some of the gas contracts there. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we'll start with the Sol project itself. That starts up, we expect, in September. And that increases our total production about 4 times, increases our gas production 5 times in one hit. So clearly that's transformational for the business. And we've had about 20% of our gas uncontracted. We've held that back.
Right.
In the last 2 months, we've contracted that at current market prices. So everyone knows the gas supply in Eastern Australia is tight, which leads to higher gas prices. And we've been fortunate to be able to contract our gas in that environment with our existing customers, and we've added one new customer as well, which is Visy Industries.
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting market. I think in the presentation you delivered to the room before, that you mentioned that you're particularly targeting, obviously, the southeast corner of Australia. And can you tell me a little bit about the market dynamics there? I think you mentioned a few times the feel you have is a $9 to $11 range is about right. Is there anything you see on the horizon that might change those dynamics?
Well, firstly, the 9 to 11 is the numbers that we're seeing at the moment coming out of market work that ACCC is doing, and it absolutely aligns with what we feel and see in the market. You think about, well, where might additional supply come from? Cooper Basin, well, that's the existing supplier. The Gippsland Basin, that's an existing supplier. The offshore Otway, that's an existing supplier. Imported LNG, that's not low cost. That's closer to 11 than it is to 9. Coal seam gas out of Queensland, well, that's already supplying into Eastern Australia. So again, that comes into that 9 to 11 range. That's why we think that 9 to 11 range is something that is sustainable for quite some time yet.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so apart from the massive jump in production you mentioned from Sol, what else might we look for in the future? I think Annie is one of your exploration ventures. Is there anything else that we might look for?
Well, over the last 9 months, and once we've known Sol was getting ready to start up, we've been starting to focus on what comes after Sol.
Right.
So we've got next month we're drilling the Annie well in the offshore in the Otway Basin, close to infrastructure, and can put it into an existing gas plant.
Okay.
We've got Eleonora to follow that. So there's 2 wells which would materially, if successful, materially increase reserves and production. And then we've got, we and Beach are going to be drilling some 19 wells in the Cooper Basin this year.
Right.
And that will add reserves and production. It's a question of how much. And then separately we've got the onshore Otway, which we're drilling together with Beach as well. There's a follow-up well to their Hazel Grove discovery. So in the next 3-4 months, we've got campaigns going on in 3 separate areas, and any one of them on their own can make quite a difference to the company, on top of Sol.
Right. Okay. That sounds exciting. So it sounds like there's a big pipeline of organic growth. Obviously, assuming the transformational revenues will flow through, as you mentioned before. Is there any chance of any inorganic growth where you get tempted?
Well, we couldn't be tempted, but we look at it, and we look at it very hard, and we have to say, can we add value to it? Where there are opportunities that we can add value to, then we'll look at them, we'll study them hard, and we'll work them hard. If we can't add value to them, then no, we'll move on. So we've got ourselves into a position where that's an option for us, but it's not something we'll pursue just for the sake of pursuing it.
Sure.
We'll do it because it's going to add further value. Okay. And obviously the Gippsland, the Otway, and the Cooper, where we've got existing knowledge and existing assets, are logical candidates in that respect, if something came up.
Sure thing. Fantastic. Well, thanks again for taking the time, David. It's David Maxwell, Managing Director and CEO of Cooper Energy, ticker COE.
Thank you.